fuck it. I forget how much of a pain in the ass this shit is sometimes.
Well, what are you trying to do?
No, I got it started. I kind of wish Streamlabs. I should have probably linked it to Twitter and whatnot.
Oh, you're trying to go live?
Oh no, I'm live right now. It's just all the other extra shit I have to do after we do that. Like,
Oh yeah, I got you. Like setting the titles and all that junk.
pretty much.
Else, how many new guys do we have in IC? Just
Two
one,
new
right?
two new guys showed up for IC.
What's the other
No.
guy's name?
One showed up. The other guy has not shown up. He had an availability issue today that he wasn't able to make it.
Okay, that's fine.
Other than that, we got like a total class size of like 18.
No, we got 26.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Ah, that shows what I know. That's what it was last time I checked. But a lot of people have joined late.
What are these guys doing? Are they doing like a late FTX just for shits and giggles?
It's the post IC FTX.
Okay.
Fuck. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and kick it off, gents.
All right.
Start. Whoever feels comfortable, start. Introduce yourself.
So my name is Lucalis. I am the CO of 26 2nd Battalion 6th Marines Milsim. We are a community-led unit. What that means is everyone's voice is heard, everyone's opinions are valid, and everything that is done within the unit is voted on.
It's a little whole democracy kind of thing.
Yes.
Nice. Nas.
I'm Naz. I'm the XO of 26. So we started this group because we just felt like there's certain things that could have been done properly in the previous unit we were in, and
Go to bed.
we chose 26 because I was in 26 in real life, and I told Lucalis if we ever open one, we're gonna call it that. And it's just nice to see, group of guys not being handicapped when they have good ideas. And well, we've been around for a month and a half, and literally day and night difference. Just good ideas, bad ideas being thrown out there. Obviously, live and learn, but yeah, it's fun.
So we'll get into the stuff from like the incident with NATO and whatnot here in a sec. For viewers who either are part of the group or aren't part of like some Milsim group, or say I guess those who are like thinking about changing scenery, what can you tell us about like 2-6? Like what kind of like it's obviously a Marine unit, but what does it like not involve? I guess you say it, but what does it all entail? That's the word I'm looking for. Like, do you have armor, or is it like light infantry? What kind of stuff are we talking about here?
You want to answer that, Lucalis, or should I?
I can. I was muted. So 2-6 is primarily a infantry unit that operates with LABs and ribs. We haven't fully implemented the ribs into our unit just yet. We're still testing and making sure that everything's stable. One of our number one priorities when it comes to giving our guys anything that they can do within the unit is one, make sure that we're not going to experience any issues, intermittent crashes, hard crashes, server crashes, anything like that. but our primary objective is to be an infantry unit.
The hell's that?
Oh, are you hearing the cats in the background?
Sound like that, or someone's playing Battlefront.
That's probably the cats, the kittens in the cage that are meowing like nobody's business right now because they're waiting for their mother to come inside.
I thought it
But-
was fucking. I thought it was like another TV and someone was playing fucking Battlefield. I was like, that fucking 18 is shooting shit.
Yeah, but another great thing about the unit that we formed, we didn't want their MOS. Obviously we have our primary MOS, but we have secondary MOSs like pilots and soon arty. We don't want them to just be bound by if being a pilot forever. So when we do ops, we make it so if we need helicopters or our artillerymen, those guys that are rolled, that have been through that class, have the opportunity to use what they learned and make the ops more fun.
Now, you guys just started this unit, say a month and a half ago, right?
Yes, sir.
Like, how long have you guys been doing this whole Milsim thing? Like, not just the unit, but like Milsim in general.
So for me, my first real milsim would have started back in January. No, actually December. That's where I had joined my previous unit, and then following that, we formed 2-6. Prior to that, I was a part of a Halo semi milsim, not really, but it was a group of KSI.
KSI.
And that was back in like 2014.
Shit, I remember those fuckers.
Yeah.
Nah, my fucking first online game was Halo 3. So you go through all these clans like Team Slayer, all that shit, custom games.
Yeah.
Airborne.
I focused more on the SWAT side of things when it came to Halo, primarily in Reach.
Oh yeah. But fuck, I used to roll TXI before I ended up just leaving that shit. Fuck, I don't even know if they're around anymore. Damn. So, Nas, what about you? Like, how long, like, besides
Uh,
the actual Marine Corps, how long you been in? Or
I think December as well. Honestly, the previous unit, the 82nd, was my first real milsim. I didn't really think about it too much. I had Xbox before I changed into PC. Great thing, by the way. But Arma Reforged came out on Xbox, and I was playing some of the servers in 82nd and wanted to join the milsim. Uh, I was like, yeah, sure, why not be part of the club? And honestly, it was the best thing for me because get to meet Luke Callis and some of the other founding members in the 2-6 in 2-6 right now. Literally never thought I'd have a video game that would kind of relate to military as a veteran standpoint and be friends with people I've never met in person. So yeah, that's why everything why we started this unit, because I felt comfortable making that decision with them. Wouldn't do it with anyone else.
all right. Uh, fucking Saturday's not been my day today. Because I was, like I told you guys, I forgot about this stream because we were supposed to do another stream, but that got pushed back to Monday. And I honestly thought I scheduled you guys for tomorrow. I was like, well, then who is it? Lucis or
Me.
yeah? So I was like, well, you guys today. He's like, fuck, I do got you guys today. Shit.
Well, you know what they say: today is tomorrow, or tomorrow is today.
I don't need that damn drill sergeant
As I hate
logic.
you.
sounds like something my old recruiting instructor would fucking tell me. But kind of dive into what going forward. What are expectations with 2.6?
Ideally for 2.6, I'd like to see us grow. We don't have to be the biggest unit. That's not the goal. But I want to have a strong following of, friends, troops that we can get on and run tactical ops and, truly enjoy what we're doing at the same time while still listening to the ideas of everyone that's involved, because everyone's got unique ideas. And someone might have a different take on, say an op that Naz puts together or I put together, that might make it more intense, or if it's too intense, their idea might dial it down a bit. Really, we just want to be a unit that truly strives based on the community, not just, the Milsim aspect, but the general public as well. We want to welcome the general public in to play with us. We like to do ops on our public servers on a regular basis. I think we probably do them like 3 or 4 times a week on our public servers, where we'll get 7 or 8 pub server players that come in, participate in the ops. We'll obviously talk to them. We'll try to talk to them, see if they're interested in joining. If they're not, no big deal. It's not going to be an issue if they don't join. We still want them to come around and play with us wherever they can.
All right. Like, have you guys started working with other units?
Oh yes.
We have been working with other units. Our first joint op would be within the first week that we formed. That would be with 5th SFG. Following that, we have another op that is scheduled later this month with 506th. And then in August, it's not 100% confirmed just yet, but we have a group that aren't full on Milsims, but they're relatively decent sized groups of like 30 or 40 guys that they want to run an op, and they invited 2.6 to come along, and I was just like, hell yeah, let's do something.
That when you say like 30, 40 guys, not really Milsons, or are they just like your like average tactical clans?
They're more or less just a bunch of friends that like to play tactically together. One well-known group, Mom's House. I'm not sure if you've heard of them or not, but they're a great group of guys. I've played with them and hung out with them since like early February. And then another group that we are also working with is the 38th SFG. It's more of like a round robin Milsim group, so their Milsim spans across like 8 or 9 different games, whereas their Armicide only has like 20 guys or so. As a matter of fact, one of their guys actually reached out not that long ago asking if it would be okay with me if they switched from 38th to 2.6, and I said, hey, talk with your guys first. Let them know what your intentions are, and I'll also let them know that we've had this conversation. Because we want you to go where you're happy, but at the same time, if you stay with 38th, you're still welcome to come play with us. It doesn't matter who you're with, really.
Right. So, like jumping in, I guess we could say to the meat and potatoes. There was an incident recently within the NATO community. Do you guys want to go ahead and dive into that?
Yeah, absolutely. So recently there were multiple accusations that were put against myself and the rest of 2.6 for a couple of different things, such as poaching, document theft, financial fraud, and there was one affiliation with blacklisted members. on the poaching side of things, I had proven over and over that in good faith that I had been trying to work with the 82nd to try and resolve those issues, which in the end of the case, that one was dropped. It was labeled as unfounded. Now, as far as the document theft goes, we did utilize a copy of the 82nd's SRB or brigade roster. Since then, we have completely overhauled our SRB and corrected that deficiency, creating our own SRB and our own roster. But at the same time, it's a spreadsheet. I don't feel like, that really counts as like, theft of any sort.
It's just not a trademark, is it?
No. There were multiple claims that we had stolen other internal documents of 82nd, which I had found out that there was a member that had a couple of documents that he wanted to use for 2.6, which I quickly shut down because, one, we're Marines. Two, we don't need to piggyback off of someone else's success. We're going to build our unit naturally. We're going to build it the way that it needs to be built so that it can be successful. Every one of our documents and SOPs is 100% homegrown. Most of them I've made. Our medical documents has been made by each one of our medical team within Solus Platoon, which is our medical unit that we currently have. Our recon has been 100% internal. Some of the documents I have made, and then some of the documents other members of 2.6 have made. And each document will come to me, and I have to review them to make sure that, they're good or that there's nothing in there that, it's got to be public knowledge for one. So we do use a lot of TMs, technical manuals that the military uses. And a lot of our regulations are going to be based around a lot of those public knowledge regulations. Like for the Marines, it's different. I'm not sure what their clothing regulation is, but for the Army, it's AR 670-1, which is a unclassified document. Anyone can see it. Anyone can just go Google United States Army AR 670-1. And it would give you all the details of what their uniform consists of, what their hygiene standards are, shaving standards, everything and such. Now, on the financial side of things, that's where things get a little bit iffy. I can't say that there is any sort of financial fraud because I don't believe there is. Every bit of money that I have received from the community that I was with, 82nd, has gone towards the servers in some capacity, whether it be for upgrades or auxiliary components to make the servers run better, such as better networking cards, better CPUs, better RAM. I'm a hosting provider. Those are things I do. I didn't charge an absorbent amount of money to the 82nd for dedicated machines because I gave them dedicated machines. Each one of those machines cost me roughly $200 to $250, depending on the specific specs. And that's what I charged. I didn't take anything off the top, maybe other than like, say, $7 or $8. And that's just, I label that as a maintenance fee. Like if you go anywhere else to any other game hosting provider and try to get a dedicated machine, say On, I believe is one of the big ones, they'll charge you $350 for a machine that's less spec than what I'm offering. And personally, I recommend anyone, if they're interested in learning how to host their own servers, to go out and, shop around, look at different server hosts, not game server hosts, but like bare metal servers. You can find great specs out there, and it's not hard to set things up. There's a bunch of panels that are like super easy to add and make it quick. I've even offered to, as far as my financials go with the 82nd, I've offered to have an accountant review everything. But that wasn't enough, which that's fine. If that's how they feel, then that's how they feel. Let bygones be bygones at this point, right? on the next one, the affiliation with a blacklisted member. We had a member in our unit who went by the name of Echo. He's still with our unit because we found out that the allegations that were put forth against him were inaccurate, and it was a case of misidentification, which is confirmed misidentification, to where they said that a specific individual was accused of a couple different things that are not okay in any community. I'm not going to get into the details of it because I don't feel it's appropriate for this kind of a venue.
Well, that's what I think it is. It wouldn't be the first time we talked about it. Talked about that kind of stuff. I mean, we had shit like that. Or if I'm thinking of what you're fucking thinking of, then that shit was going on in fucking Battlefield 5.
I gotcha. So the member was accused of being another Echo that had accusations or confirmed allegations of predatory behavior towards minors.
Okay, that's definitely fucking Battlefield 5.
Yeah.
Those fuckers.
And this member, he reached out to me after I removed him and discharged him, to find out what's going on. And I told him, hey, look, I'm not 100% sure what's going on. I'm still trying to get all the pieces together. And I worked with him, and he even sent me a photo of his real-world driver's license with his name, address, everything on it, showing that he himself is a minor. And then when I had reached out to Nomad from NATO about it, he sent me a screenshot of someone else's profile that wasn't even closely, remotely the same. Apparently the person that has the allegations on them is a active member of the National Guard.
Fuck.
And our member is not a member of any branch of the military yet. He does have ambitions to become a member of the military once he turns 18.
So pretty much it got caught in like a little hailstorm of everyone thinking he's this guy, but it turns out it's not.
Yeah.
Was there a picture of this? Because if I'm not mistaken, there's
they deleted the whole incident report.
They deleted the whole incident report?
Yep. They deleted it and basically blocked us. Or blacklisted us.
That's another thing I was going to ask. Because it seemed like this whole situation was just some BS shit thrown way out of proportions. You're providing all this shit to them, like just a service provider for the servers and all that shit, and something happens, you don't like how shit's going, and you end up taking exit stage left, and then they get all uppity, but they say, "Oh, it's financial fraud or financial this or that." It's like you're donating
the reason
money
behind
to him.
that.
You're donating money to him. He's providing you the services, and I guess something's going on inside and internally that you're seeing that you're not liking. So you end up to say, "Hey, I'm out. We're going to do this or that or whatever underneath the sun."
So I had provided servers for the 82nd since mid-January. During that time, I found it difficult to reach out to the CO of the 82nd at the time. And I did accept donations directly to myself multiple times to cover the cost of the servers. Naz being one of the people that has donated multiple times. Naz even helped with upgrading their machines right at the end of our tenure with the 82nd. Even after we left, we supported that server until the 27th of last month. Or that whole node, which had most of their public servers on it. Now, they were in the process of transitioning out, and their current server host, which isn't an actual server host, but an individual that's paying for servers and learning how to do hosting, I helped them with the process of getting those machines set up as, good faith, as, I'm not trying to burn bridges down. I'm trying to remain on a somewhat of a neutral plane with you guys. There were other members that made donations. out of the times that I received payment from the actual 82nd's command team, I received full payments from them twice, and I had supported them all the way until June.
Did something happen in June? All right,
June is when we left.
okay, yeah, well, I thought there was more to it, but yeah, I don't, this, because when I first saw this shit, and I saw like financial, I was like, okay, you're just using the same server that some other dude's paying for, or, cause I thought it was like you guys were using a server, like you took it and ran, changed the passwords, and someone else was already paying for it. But if they're donating money to you for you to run this server, and that way they could do this and that, what the fuck's the problem?
So the thing is, so we decided to cut off their service, Lucali's service from them because they're basically using like they're using Lucali's servers for like a hot minute when we were, 2-6. So, Lucalis and I and some of the other guys decided it was time to cut them off.
Did you guys give them fair warning about this? Like, hey.
So initially, I had no plans on cutting their servers off. If they continued to pay the bill, the servers would remain on. But they started moving their servers off, and it had been brought to my attention that they were intending on leaving. So I did write a formal letter and let them know, hey, the plan is for these servers to be cut off on this date. If you wish to continue with these servers, you're more than willing to do so by making the payment on the due date. If not, the servers will be cut off on the 27th because the due date was the 14th of each month.
Right.
And I continued, even after the 14th, I continued to allow the server to run until the 27th of June. We left, it was what, June 1st, or was it?
Yep, it was June 1st.
Okay. Yeah, we had left the 82nd on June 1st. And apparently there had been someone who was spreading rumors that I was going to shut them down and that I was claiming that they haven't been paying their bill, which the only time I've ever said they haven't paid their bill was after the first 2 months when I hadn't received a payment. And that's when Naz stepped in and covered it. And during that time, I had let the leader of the 82nd know, hey, you don't need to worry about the bill right now. It's been covered. And I let them know that Naz covered the bill for that month.
Months.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
But my issue is that as soon as we decided, shut their privileges from using our servers, they decide to file that incident report, like just conveniently after they no longer use ours, even though we gave them fair warning.
That's because they filed that report the same day they did with 5SSG.
Yeah, I'm tracking.
And I'm thinking, it's like, dude, it's like
now
I mean, I'm looking at it through the phone. I can smell the bullshit.
Yeah. Now they did claim that I had stolen one of the servers after they turned it off, which was not the case. I took one of their servers out of their account and set it into a pending status or a suspended status under a dummy account, which I sent them screenshots of showing that it's there. Their main issue was the fact that one of our servers was now showing as a favorite of theirs. And the reason behind that is I was working on building another Armor Reforger server, and I maintain backups of just about every server I host, just in case the unthinkable happens to someone's server. And I simply grabbed all of the config files and the mods, which I completely neglected the fact that the ownership.bin token was in those files, because that ownership.bin that's the key that tells Reforger that these players have recently connected to this server. And as soon as that was brought to my attention, I quickly rectified it by getting rid of that key and factory resetting the server and just going ahead and re-downloading all the mods manually. And I let them know, hey, that's my fault. I grabbed a config that I didn't think it was going to be an issue. It's fixed.
Now, within the community, are you guys still blacklisted in there, or
We are blacklisted from NATO until September.
even though none of this shit seems to be you're doing? They even brought. I'm not sure if those you guys are five SFG. Like in that goddamn document of complaint was like dual simming, which I kind of see. I kind of understand why someone would probably dual sim, because if one group's like not really doing much and it's like you don't want to relieve it because your buddies are there, but you also want to do shit, you go start hanging out with this other group while still being a part of another group. It's like that just tells me it's like, hey, pick up the fucking pace. You guys are. I mean, you guys are fucking complaining that hey, Joe Schmo over here is fucking doing this dual simming. Okay, well, are you guys actually doing shit, or are you just sitting around with your thumbs up your ass?
Yeah, we do have another member who is higher up with us that just sent me a message saying he would like to join in. He should join the waiting lobby here in just a minute. But yeah, so as far as the dual simming side of things goes, I already had a Discord, but that Discord wasn't set on what it was or anything at that point. It was just Luca's gaming group. Because I wanted to keep in contact with my friends, and I invited all my friends over. Well, after I made my announcement that I was leaving, I wasn't 100% set on what it was that I was going to do yet. I didn't know if I was going to actually start up on my own Milsim. I didn't know if it was going to, if I was just going to take a step back and continue to support the 82nd in the background.
He should be able
At the end,
the Wolf guy should be able to join the waiting lobby.
Yeah, I'll send him a message right now. Join
Wolf?
the lobby. Charcoal Wolf, Falcon.
Oh, okay.
There
Yeah,
he is.
so another thing about that subject is the poaching allegations. They were trying to claim that we were poaching, but their evidence clearly showed that we weren't poaching. Poaching would mean, like, hey, join us, we'd give you this. There was none of our members fucking ever told them that, like, hey, if you join us, you'll be, this rank, you will get, you'll
Alright.
be SL or something like that.
I can't
Hang
hear
on a
anyone
second.
talk.
I got Mojo's in the chat. He's asking for what the fuck?
He has headphone issues routinely.
Yeah, he just joined back to waiting lobby. Let's try this again.
Falcon, can you hear us?
But Mojo, pretty much rundown is this 2-6 was accused by another unit in the NATO community chat, and as they were explaining, a lot of shit that they were accused of seems to be what the fuck? Is it connection issues?
No, he has routine headset issues to where Discord wigs out on him.
I can't have that shit, but they were accused of, let's say, financial fraud, with, if I'm not mistaken, poaching, and what else?
Association with a blacklisted member or blacklisted person, as well as document theft.
Which the association of blacklisted member turned out to be bogus, mistaken identity. Document theft. If you want,
It's a spreadsheet.
my guy, it's like me going fucking after uh, the United States Naval Institute and say, "Hey, I'm using that. You can't use that no more." Like, fuck out of here. It's not even copyrighted or trademarked. It's fucking just shit dudes made in Google Docs or Word Excel.
Now,
And,
there was a trademark or
hang on,
something.
no, Mojo. They accused 26 of uh, financial fraud, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I keep forgetting the fucking wording. Uh, even though, can I just call you Luke? I can't even say your name
Yeah,
right.
that's fine. That's fine.
It's like, I'll just call you Mitch.
Yeah.
But Luke over here is providing the servers for the 82nd, and he gave them, hey, yeah. Oh, so someone said they filed a report telling them they're full of shit. Yeah, like
I like this Mojo
if the
guy.
if the guy was fucking providing you servers, and how you gonna claim all his financial fraud? Like he gave you like heads up, like, hey, services are gonna come to an end this date. And this is kind of
Well,
this. I'm still, I wouldn't say annoyed, but like it's one of those things you look at. It's like you can't be fucking serious, because the guy is providing you the service. He has every right to end the service.
one thing I will say though, if because I've supported Lucas, the
I mean,
past 7 months, and he will tell you how much I've supported him.
right.
If I found out that if I even got a hint that he would do that, I would have never supported him.
Luke, if you want to explain it to Mojo about the server stuff,
Yeah, give me just a second
just
so I can
yeah,
finish this chip and not munch in your ear.
yeah, just to recap. Fucking, I mean, I got blacklisted from BF4 for bullying a furry.
So
I forgot about that.
I run a small hosting company called Shadowhaven Hosting. Um, it originally started out as a private, just me, service for myself and my friends. I started it because I wanted to host a Gary's Mod server, but I didn't want to host it on my own machine in my own home. Um, but it kind of expanded. Um, I had reached out to my chain of command and asked them, hey, would you guys like to, try something out? I'll let you guys, try it out for a certain amount of time for free, just to see if you like it, see if it's something you're interested in, and if it's something you're interested in, we could talk about pricing. During that time, I did have a machine that is in my own home that was hosting their current most popular server, which was at the time Pub 4 Anaze PVE. That I didn't charge them for one bit. But on that specific machine, that server's running 24/7, 365. Yes, there were times that the server had to go offline for some maintenance, and some of the money that I received did go into this machine to upgrade it and make it better. I bought a 10 gig networking card for them so that they can have the full bandwidth of my in-home, my personal 5 gig fiber internet that I have at home. So I provided their servers. He's back in the lobby again. But I was providing servers for them at cost of what I pay the hosting companies, or not the hosting companies, the data centers that are hosting them for me. Because I don't have enough machines to host all of the servers that the 82nd needed. So I told them, this is what the price will be per month. They agreed. A month went by, didn't receive a payment. I mentioned something. I was like, okay, well, maybe something's going on. I'll touch base again later. A month later, I received payment for that server. And then another month went by. Someone else made a payment on that server. And then following that, I didn't receive another payment from them, but I received payment from NAS on 2 counts. And then NAS also paid at the end of their service period for the upgrade. But other members of the 82nd reached out and donated, and I didn't go around running my mouth saying the 82nd's not paying for their servers. I kept those conversations between me, Naz, and another close friend of mine.
Besides the first 2 payments missed.
Okay.
Huh?
Besides the 2 payments that I did receive from people in high command of the 82nd, I never received any further funds from them. Everything else had been from members of the community. And when all was said and done, they still had an overage in the prepay account because every bit of money that went to me for those servers went straight into a prepay. That doesn't include the website that I built for them that's no longer there. The server that I had to pay for to host said website on. The uptime monitoring tools that I provided for them. The Battlemetrics syncing tool that allows them to ban players across all servers without having to log into each individual server, and also gives them Archon access. As well as before I finished developing my self-made pterodactyl instance, I was paying for Wisp panel, which I had 5 nodes, which was $50 a month per each node. Or not per node, it's $10 per node, so $50 a month on those. But outside of that, I received 2 payments from the members from High Command of 82nd, and then the rest of the money that I received were all donations made to me that went straight into those servers, whether it be upgrades or paying for the month of service. But outside of that, I never used any of the money that I received on anything other than stuff for the servers.
You handled it the right way from what you said. These guys are just salty from the sounds of it. Pretty much sounds like it. I mean, fucking hell, Mojo, what was it? When you guys left 82nd, you guys left not either before or right after the guys at 4 and 5, God damn it, 5 SFG left.
So 5th SFG left roughly a week or 2 before we did. And the unfortunate thing is one of the members used me as a scapegoat, but we won't get into that. That was just an excuse that he used, and I've talked with him offline, and we're cool. But they left because a member of the unit was discharged because he was a part of another group that became a Milsim, but he was a part of that group long before it was a Milsim on Armor Reforger. So he got discharged for dual sim. Do I feel that that's justified? He wasn't even participating in any of their armor stuff. He was just a member of that Discord, and he played with them on other games. I don't see a problem with that. I don't know how they found out that supposed group became a Milsim on Armor Reforger. I don't know. They didn't give the guy a chance to even, rectify the situation. It's just like if somebody that's just a general public population member that joins 2.6's Discord just so they can get updates on the servers or do player reports, ban appeals, whatever it be. It's like me saying, oh, well, you're in the 82nd Discord, so you can't be here. That's not okay. You don't get to dictate whether they're in a Discord or not.
Mojo responds that shocking, someone abusing a blacklist over hurt feelings. Never seen that before. Fuck, I can't even tell you how many times I've seen that bullshit. Someone loses
now,
a
as
fucking...
far as...
It's like someone starts a fucking Milsim War and was it Battlefield, and he gets their asses handed to him and tries to make this. This is before GPT, but like make this long ass statement of like why this person that beat them should be banned, is like or blacklisted. Is like, my God, just
It's a
what?
video game, guys.
It fucking is. Um, I think I told either you, Luke, or Nas this. It's like if you have two groups, like I'm not even saying they're small groups. Like, so what I'm guessing, you guys were fifth SFG, and you guys were when you left 82nd, you were a pretty good sized group.
Yeah. I knew that there would be a significant amount of people that followed me out the door just because of the kind of relationships that I
Now,
developed with a lot of the members.
yeah, like knowing that, it's like if you have a good chunk of people leave it in two groups, not long after each other, something's wrong inside that fucking command structure. Because
So,
instead of
re-
retaining people, it's people are going out and like leaving this. That should be a red flag for them, saying, "Hey, something's wrong. Like, what are we fucking up?"
So real quick, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Falcon Hunter. I was a first sergeant for Atlas Company for 82nd. I was in charge of the company that is now 26. So I also have information regarding a lot of what went behind the scenes of upper command. Lucalis has a little bit more, but regarding company command stuff, regarding like the aspect of how our own captain operated and the reason why a lot of things they happen, I also know about as well.
Uh, well, welcome to Milsim Real Talk. Fucking, I mean, if you wish to discuss it, and that go ahead.
Yeah,
as long as it doesn't
yeah,
like get too out of hand, like going all story
no,
where I
it's
start cussing, doxing his
no,
dudes. Like,
no, it's nothing like that. So what ended up happening was this goes way back before Lucalis. So I was original member of 75th Ranger. Um, there was another incident that was similar to why we left. The group broke off from 75th. We became another unit.
wait.
Um,
Were you in first bat?
Negative, not first bat. I was originally second bat, got transferred over to third.
Oh,
I
I
was
thought you were in that group from third bat. Not from third bat, first bat that went and formed the third Marine Raider Battalion.
no, we did form a Marine group. It was I was former captain of third bat, and we went and formed another Marine group after that.
Cause
It
I
might,
remember hearing about that, and they were pissed.
yeah, actually that was I don't think it was first bat that did that because it was third bat. We went and did
No, because
I
there
think it was third
was
Marine.
I. This happened after I left first bat and transferred to 160th. Because a lot of the guys that I was in that was with me in when I was in Blade, the Blade platoon, first bat, um, second platoon, or no, it's Blade platoon, but Freedom
It
Company.
was it was basically a Marine unit that was around for 1 month, and then everyone who left, who started that unit, who left for their reasons, then got
A lot of those guys
basically
actually went back to 75th. I was
correct,
surprised to see that.
correct, yes. So what ended up happening was we broke off, and then the leaders of that unit got promised a bunch of things to go back, and then they went back, and everyone who left were basically up shit's creek at that point. So I then went to 82nd, worked my way up. Uh, there was problems after problems, um, undermanned issues, people not knowing how the chain of command worked, people being pulled in different directions, and eventually, within my first week of joining the unit, I was already a squad lead. That's how bad leadership was, or people were being moved around to a point where they didn't know what they were doing. Um, Eventually,
Was
I
the
worked my
82nd at that time like were they like small or like did something happen?
um It was probably about, I joined them probably about a month after they formed, maybe a little less than that. They already had a lot of the command structure figured out. A lot of the issues revolved around, like, I would say junior leaders, low rank NCOs fighting for power would be the best way to describe it. Was there was a lot of backstabbing and a lot of, if you rub my back, I'll rub yours to get higher kind of things going on. I don't know too much about that regarding that until I got higher up. Eventually, I worked my way up to PL, and this is when I was able to get up to Zeus platoon PL, and when I started finding out about the real issues going on, our captain at the time, Captain Biz, he liked to run things his way in a very specific way, where it was his company, it was either his way or the highway. Um, After a deployment, the big deployment we had, this is when Lucalis and a bunch of other leaders joined. Lucalis eventually worked his way up to be where he was at in the unit. But
I
after
was a
one of the,
corporal at the time of that deployment, but I was also part of. I had joined the S2 team or S3 team at that point.
that major deployment we were on, though, was the most fucked up main deployment ever. We had guys triggering former veterans' PTSDs by interrogating them, then critiquing them about their PTSD. And then when that didn't work, they purposely tried to trigger PTSD moments. We had a guy in our platoon who fought in the Ukraine war and was doing everything he was supposed to do on the deployment. And what ended up happening was they did a blue on blue incident on him. Then they took him into the interrogation and then tried to basically gaslight him to the point where he had a PTSD episode. That was swept under the rug. That was not something that I was very happy about. I tried taking up that up to higher command at the time. Basically, they said, what's done is done. It is what it is. Those guys who triggered it will be dealt with. But as far as I know, no actual repercussions came from that. Later down the road,
that fucking
after that,
that needs to be fucking addressed. Like, shout, like,
and
you don't
that
fucking do that.
Yeah, that individual ended up having a, I would say, Lucalis, would you say he had a mental health crisis after that?
Yes, he did have a mental health crisis.
That individual ended up having a mental breakdown to the point where we actually we had a serious command discussion about maybe having him step away from the unit and or seeking actual mental physical therapy. We had other veterans in our unit who were in the platoon reach out to him, and we actually had a sit down discussion with him about it. I later took that up to hires. I don't know what they ended up, the decision regarding that incident was. All they told me was, you don't need to look further into it. It's being dealt with. And then it was never talked up. It was never brought up again. The next time I brought it up was like, hey, what's the punishment? Like, what are we doing about this? And as far as I know, they just said, well, their company command staff is going to deal with it, and that's the way, and that's what it's going to be. Which leads to me, which is nothing is done and nothing's going to be done.
So overall, I forget how the hell Army shit works with the 82nd. Like, the overall command of the 82nd? You got your company, then what's above the company? It's division command, right?
It's we do battalion. It was battalion is next. I don't know how they did it. It was battalion, I believe, and then it goes up to regiment.
No, it goes company, battalion, and then brigade.
Brigade, that's what it was. Thank you. I don't know I don't even think it made it higher than battalion command staff. I think it died off there. I don't think it was really brought to top dogs, like the top head honchos, like attention regarding that. I think it was basically swept under the rugs and said, "Oh well, that's part of Arma. That's part of the game."
No, that's not part of. You don't fucking do that. I don't give a damn who the hell they are. You don't do that to the fucking people you're supposed to, you so-called honor. Like fucking Jesus Christ.
So after that, there was a bunch of command decisions that during that major operation to where the entire platoon staff left. I'm talking two PLs, two PSGs, and an XO, all and a company XO all dipped out. I was the only remaining PO that stayed um, of
And
the
did they dip
original
out for
company.
because of that shit, or was it something else?
It was something else. It was a way the it was because of the way things were being ran by Battalion at the time for the operation, and it became so disgruntled and other disagreements regarding how the company should be run, regarding how people are behaving, regarding tactics, it just you think of a reason it was there.
Falcon, let me interject on that one. A lot of those guys that left during that time started another group.
Was it the fifth SOG?
No, fifth came way later, months later.
It's like, yeah, I was trying to track this whole lore shit going. But
No, so a lot of those, a couple of them didn't. A couple of them left just because they were tired of it and they just didn't want to be a part of the Milsim life anymore. And they just carried on. They continued to come and play on the public servers and stuff like that, but they just didn't want to be a part of the Milsim. 4 or 5 of the guys that left actually started a Arma 3 Milsim. I'm not sure how they're doing. I haven't had any contact with them. Hopefully they're doing good because those were all great guys. They were great leaders. Personally, I was real bummed out. I was actually like pissed when they left because I did everything I could on my end, when I became S3 to try and make it fun for them, to try and get them to stay because I knew it was coming.
And so what ended up happening was after all of command staff left, it only left me by myself as a PL and the company CEO at the time. Well, they felt like there was no one else able to be moved up to take any other type of command staff roles at the time. So begrudgingly, the CEO moved me up, even though he thought I was a complete and utter fuck up and a dumbass. So by Battalion's orders, I was moved up against the CO's wishes. I'm like 99% sure. Um, I got moved up into the PSG, the first sergeant role, and from then on, I basically was, for the better part of the word, I was the face of the company. The CEO dealt with the paperwork and dealt with behind the scenes politics. I dealt with the in front of basically everything to do with anything and all to do with the men. So any complaints, any type of problems, any suggestions, missions, operations, company level things, it came through me basically first. Um, at that point, we started moving people up to where they needed to go and to where people felt like they were able to move up. I basically rebuilt the command staff upon decisions, ran it through CO. The CO definitely also made decisions there. But when it came time for a bunch of issues to be pushed up regarding how people are being treated, how things are turning out, it just basically was I brought it up to the CEO. The CEO said he would take care of it, or it was his way. Um, we started doing operations. People were getting killed at a very higher rate than what would probably be acceptable for an operation. Guys were complaining about the difficulty settings of it. Guys were complaining about being treated unfairly. These problems were brought up, and basically the response from the CO was they need to quit being pussies.
the fuck?
Verbatim, exact words were they need to quit being pussies. This is a milsim. We're here to emulate IRL. If they can't handle being in a milsim in a regimented way, then they need to leave.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit. What?
There was multiple conversations held, but
That's how fucking flashbacks like just that statement of what you told me he said. Fuck, what was this guy's name? I want to say like he had a YouTube channel like about I think his name was like Commander Fox or some shit, and it's just he would always like make videos inside his car, and it's like and he would be screaming like this dude took the fucking Milsim shit way more serious than he should have.
But all in all, he did not like me. We were at very odds and ends because what would end up happening is when he was in front of me, he would be very supportive and be like, "I don't hate you, you know, you're a good leader," but then he would go behind everyone's backs and then trash talk to everyone else. So, for instance, like if I was in the party, he would be nice and upstanding to me, but then trash talk with Callus or another PL or another PSG. And if I wasn't there, then he would call me an idiot or whoever else it may be. It was very not the best workplace environment, I would say.
Don't get that man a fucking manager's position.
Um, and I originally wasn't going to take the position as first sergeant because I have been in captain positions before, lieutenant positions. I just was burnt out, didn't want to deal with the politics. I told command staff before I got moved in that position I was not going to be playing politics. And by the end of it, I was just done. Like every single problem or issue that was brought up by me or by another platoon member staff or even platoon sergeants was either brushed under the rug, ignored, or just straight up was told it's not that's not an issue. They can figure it out for themselves.
That's
Um,
okay. Hold on. I got a question. The the guy that fought in Ukraine-Russian war.
mhm.
Do you still maintain comms with him?
Yeah, he's actually in the unit. I knew him before he was in 82nd. I worked with him in 75th and a bunch of other units. Um, I would say I knew him for about 2.5 years prior to this breakdown. I would say it's because after the incident, he was sober for like I want to say it was like 4 or 5 months. He was sober, and then after that incident, he was not sober anymore.
What do you mean?
The individual at the time was a very heavy drug addict. And I'm not talking like marijuana, I'm talking like hard drugs. He became clean. He started getting his life together, started building a very good community around him. He was a little bit of an oddball, but everyone knew that. Everyone accepted that. But after the PTSD engagement or PTSD episode he had, he proceeded to not be sober anymore. He had a Lucalis. Did he have a? He also had a suicide attempt, didn't he?
Yes.
It triggered a suicide attempt. He just had, and then from there, his life basically just fell apart. And this isn't just one person who witnessed this. There's like 20 other people in our unit who can corroborate what I'm saying or like agree to what I said.
Now, keep in mind, Falcon, we don't want to go over the most recent drama.
Oh no, I'm only sticking to the stuff that I was in charge of. 82nd. That's all I
happened.
There was a bit of a very heated argument between said individual and another member of 82nd, but accusations were thrown around at each other. We're not going to get into that, just because
spill the beans.
I can't, not without his consent. Because there's some very personal things that were said.
God damn, that bad.
Like, as in, like, actual legal action could be taken. Like,
What the shit? What the fuck is going on with that unit? That's fucked. Besides the Ukraine war guy, the other veterans, like, are they still doing all right?
the veterans that served under me, most of them were irritated. We had one guy who was in for about 3 weeks, and it was a former Marine, I believe he was. Within 3 weeks, within 2 weeks, I made him a squad lead. And by week 3, he was already out the door. He basically was like, I'm done. We had a couple other veterans come and go. Um, Overall, I would say the veterans and active duty got treated a little bit better overall. My
After
job
the
as
whole deployment, like where they're
I would say it definitely soured a couple people's mouths when it came to that, especially active duty and veterans. I think because it was kept so closely under wraps and swept under so good, not many active duty and veterans knew about it besides the people who were actually involved in, like, who were around the incident, around the actual mental breakdown, who were there during the incident. Outside of that, I don't think anyone else really knew about this veteran having a mental PTSD breakdown.
the Ranger didn't know about this, or
I don't know. I was dealing with it at the time as a first sergeant or as a PL when this happened, because it was in my platoon. When it happened, I brought it to my company staff. My company staff said they would take care of it. And then it went to, as far as I know, it went to battalion for it to be taken care of. But I don't know anything. I don't know if it was passed up to Ranger. I don't know if it was passed, like, I don't even know if it made
that's
it
the
across his
fucking
desk.
that's what that was in your shoes. If anyone who served would have done this. If the company is not doing anything with it and they're trying to keep it under wraps, fuck that. Shoot up to the old man's office and get his attention and bring it to us. Bring Make sure get him up to
So
speed with it, because
that kind of leads into the next issue, which was there's supposedly this open door policy, but when this open door policy was utilized, most of the time people were told to fuck off. Or they were told their opinion and or outlook did not matter.
Your concerns are heard but are invalid.
Yes. So after Lucalis left, I already knew they were leaving. This is like a day prior. So after they left or were planning to leave, I had they had a sit down conversation the next day. There was an entire 80-second Milsim meeting where every single NCO, lieutenant, major, you fucking name it, every single person of, I guess you would say, power or has, some kind of rank or say in the unit was there. And when we brought a lot of these things up about, people being unhappy, people feeling like they're not being heard, people feel like they're being disrespected because of rank, people feeling like, you just name a problem that is the most common Milsim issues, was brought up in that meeting, and verbatim, that was what was said, was the opinion is, I don't even remember. Dad, say it again. What was it?
Your opinions are heard but invalid.
Exactly. They were invalid opinions. So what ended up happening is after Lucalis started 2-6, me and another lieutenant high ranking who I was best friends with, or have been best friends with for about 4 years now, me and him had a separate side person to person discussion. And me and him had already said, if I leave or you leave, we're going. I had made the decision with Lucalis to walk out the door and go support 2-6 because the way I ran the company and the way I always ran the platoons was we're a friend group first, we're a brotherhood first. When it comes to operations, yes, there's rank and file, but more than that, I want it to be a brotherhood. I want everyone to be heard. I want it to be fun, and if someone's not having fun, bring it to my attention. I obviously know I can't please everyone, but I always did my best to do that. So the next night, me and another lieutenant had a sit-down conversation with the CO. Basically, we were like, the CO basically said, everyone who left is a traitor. Everyone who is siding with 2-6 is dead to him. Everyone who is betraying the 82nd and leaving for a valid reason basically should see, like, they should not be in the Milsims anymore. And when me and this lieutenant sat down with him, we had a conversation with him person to person. Basically was, hey, we're leaving too. You know, there's too many issues that can't be fixed. And at this point, with the whole company leaving, we're starting from nothing. And the people who are remaining are either people who just got put in the unit within 2 days ago, or are people who haven't showed up to training or any other type of Milsim event in months, inactive people. And eventually it came down to him trying to sweet talk me and the lieutenant into staying. And at that point, me and him had already made up our minds that the company is unsavable. The unit is unsavable. It was going down the direction of old 75th. I don't know where they're at standing now, but at the time when we left 75th, it was the same issue. And what ended up happening is me and the
Issues at the
lieutenant.
foundational level.
Yeah, we told the CEO, was like, hey, look, we're both leaving. We're going to leave, but before we leave, we're going to help rebuild the company. We're going to help, make sure people who need to be in charge are put in charge. We're going to make sure the company level is set. That way, when me and him leave, we're not just having the company fall apart. Well, 82nd had a spy in the 2-6 at the time, and took screenshots of me and this lieutenant being in that server. Well, the day after that, me and him both got permabanned from the unit, even though we said, hey, we're both leaving, we still want to help. But because of that, of being in 2 sims, we were basically permabanned for dual simming. And I don't know what was said or after that, but we were basically kicked out, even though we offered to help and leave on good terms. They basically forced me and this other lieutenant's hand and basically made us out to be traitors as well.
We still have spies in our unit and in 5th FSG for 82nd still, even though Lucalis and I discussed with the top 2 members that we leave each other alone. We told them we leave their Discord, and they said they would leave our Discord, and they're still spying on us, even though we're just minding our own business.
I've seen a
God
lot
damn
of
it!
things.
I was talking on fucking mute mic. God damn it! But
I've
with the spying thing, like, are you sure they're still in there? Like,
So if you go to the incident report with that they filed against us, you can see up top by No Life that he has screenshots of us talking or like posting in our fucking private Discord, and
um,
we found out that it was recent. He tried to say that it was like a couple weeks ago, but we had a member that changed
That
his
very
call sign.
day,
Yeah,
that
that
very day,
same
his
day.
call sign was changed to the call sign that was reflected in those screenshots.
Yep. And yeah, we called him out on it, saying, "Oh, it's one of your members just saying, shit." It's like, okay, well, if that's the case, then how are you telling this guy, "Hey, look at this post, take a screenshot and send it to me," in like a span of 5 minutes? That's impossible to relay a message and have them send that to you like that. That's not how it works. It's pretty common sense. So they're always spying on us when we're literally just minding our own business. Like we just we want to be left alone. We were literally fine the whole time until they decided to bring up that incident report.
And
Dude,
the spying thing is nothing new. Um, when I made it to first sergeant, I became aware of this practice. Now, at the time when I was a first sergeant, I kind of just was like, whatever. But even as a PO, I became aware of their spy network about like they, at the time, they were in, I think it was like between like, I want to say 5 and 20 Milsims they had infiltrated and were watching, because what their practice is they'll send, I can't speak fully on it because I don't know, but my understanding of it is they would send someone over to act as a spy to not only watch what's going on in the chats, but to also wait for the unit to collapse. That way they could then jump in and absorb that unit and then get the manpower for the lack of manpower that was happening, because their AIC classes, which is their introduction classes, their average class was maybe about 5 or 6. When I first joined the unit, it was about 20 to 25. Um, and their spying was very reminiscent of old 75th, where 75th was 75th was very blatant about it when I was in, which was, we have a spy here, 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 and that's just the way it is. And 75th at the time would even go as far as sabotaging other units to absorb them. I don't know if that's still a practice they have, but when I was in, that was. And 82nd started doing the same, I would say, tactic. I don't know to what extent, but I do know that they have like 1 or 2 people who are acting as their S2 security, going in and snooping around other milsims to not only gauge allies but also to gauge if they can get people to join their cause. And this is validated, and there's proof of this too. We're not the only unit that has proof of this happening. There are other many smaller units that I've heard that have caught 82nd doing it, but have decided not to speak out because it's just not worth the fight. It's not worth the hassle, and it's not worth creating an enemy out of nothing.
Why submit a ticket when NATO is controlled by a majority of 82nd anyway?
you're not really committing something out of nothing. I mean, it's what you're telling is that the problem is fucking there. It's just that no one wants to fucking go through that shit. It's like, fuck it. You got to go through the shit if you want things to get cleared up or whatnot, because this was a huge problem back in Battlefield. And once it was found out, like, hey, this unit spying on this unit for some stupid ass reason, that unit was put on the spot. And sometimes they were be either have a war doc dropped on them or they'd be blacklisted. And that's just right now. It just seems this is a cancer that needs to be cut out. I mean, hell, I'll put it out right now. Anyone, whether you're watching this on Twitch or YouTube later, I mean, I'll guarantee you anonymity if you want to come on the stream and talk about this. Like, I'll crop the damn thing down where they don't even see who it is; they just hear a voice. But you come to me with that, you have to come bring receipts, because that like put the whole goddamn thing on blast, because that's not fucking Milsim at all.
And my thing is most of us did not leave out of spite or revenge or vengefulness. We left because we were tired. Like, it really is what it comes down to. It's it's the tired of not being heard. It's the tired of constant fights, inner fighting between companies.
it's tired of one specific company getting favoritism, and the whole battalion and regiment knows that it's happening, or brigade knows it's happening. And when it's called out, it's then told, well, that's not really what's going on, but there's clear evidence of that happening, and there's multiple people who stated it from different companies who all agreed it was happening. And then when those issues are brought up, it's basically told, well, that's not happening, your opinion is invalid, and that's just the way it is. Now, I have no ill will toward 82nd to any degree. I wish them the best. I did not want to leave on the terms I left on. I truly wanted to help rebuild the company before me and my lieutenant friend stepped off. But
If I could step in,
Go ahead.
yeah,
going on that being tired thing, Naz can be my first person to say this. I have many times said I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. And the primary reason that I chose not to leave sooner is because I had so many guys that I knew if I left would leave, or their Milsim lives, they would just stop right then and there. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to hold out for as long as I possibly could for them. And now they're over there at 2-6 with us. And they're happier. They're having fun. Yeah, we're not perfect. We have our issues. But anytime issues are brought up to me, I try to, correct them as fast as possible.
I just kind of thought of something. You're trying to fake out the spy.
Hey, you know you're the moderator. You're supposed to be reporting, not be biased.
No,
Come on now.
it's like you could use this in any fucking unit. Fuck.
So,
Is
at
that
first, like
fucking
personally,
get? How
like
fucking low does a motherfucker have to be to sense like, oh, we're failing. We don't want to put all this shit, all this work in, and well, who's repeating?
so
Lucalis.
Look, you're
personally, as someone that, like I said, came from the actual 2-6, trying to like my goal is to be one of the like top 20 Milsim units by and still be here by Arma 4. And at first it pissed me off when I realized, we were told that there's someone like actively watching us in our Milsim. But at the same time, I would enjoy them watching us grow and become better than them, because unlike them, we have people from privates or new guys to, myself and Lucalis that help build this unit, be great. And I think they're upset that, they don't have that sort of thing going on over there and they're jealous. So respectfully, fuck them.
yeah, like I was gonna say, like just when you were saying that, or what was it, charcoal, or what is it? Did I just call you Falcon or charcoal? What?
Yeah, you can call me Falcon. It's fine. That's my
Okay.
gamer tag.
All right. So he's saying and wait for their guys be waiting for fucking units to kind of fall apart to swoop in and take them in to the unit. So that shows how one they couldn't recruit works a damn. Apparently, if the unit has that aspiring setup just for that, and you suck at recruiting apparently, fucking you got
Well,
nothing else to do. It's like, dude, you're doing shit like way the fuck that's not even have
well, it's
anything
not.
remotely to do with fucking Milsim. Like, if you want to do spy
It's not.
shit, go simulate the shit in Langley, or DIA, or fucking NSA.
Well, the crazy thing is it wasn't just spying on external factors; it was internal as well.
Within their own unit.
Yes, so it came to my attention through Lucalis when he was an S2 that S2 was actively trying to replace me as first sergeant with someone else they thought would be better because of some reason. Lucalis knows more about it because he came to me with the information.
But it came to my knowledge that their S2 guys were actively, openly trying to sabotage me and openly trying to push to get me replaced as first sergeant and have me either bumped back down to a squad lead or something worse. I don't know what it was actually said, but I know there was talks about basically trying to push me out in some degree or fashion.
So what that was it was more or less they just didn't like you. Is all it really was. And they kept talking about who would be better. Whether they were truly trying to replace you or not, no one really knows.
Yeah, it's just.
They also didn't like the fact that we would make like group chats outside the 82nd. Like if I created a group chat with just 3 of us, it was very frowned upon.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Oh, that
God forbid you have fucking friends. Holy shit.
so that was
You can't
that was
have
actually,
friends here.
no. So actually, that actually brings up a good point. So right before I left, when I was in my meeting with this other lieutenant, with the CO, it basically came out, which was, why have loyalty to your friends when you should have the loyalty to the unit? Like that's about how also that was another point of the
What
conversation,
kind of
which was
fucking crack pipe shit? Why have
that's
loyalty
yeah.
to your friends? Loyalty to you?
Loyalty isn't to a unit, it's to a cause and to a purpose.
Jesus Christ, man. I thought fucking some shit at Battlefield was bad. Gee, that's like a whole new can of worms. But
And I'll be the first to admit I am not the most perfect leader. I'm not omniscient. I may not always know tactically what to do. As Lucalis can tell you, I got an entire QRF killed.
I was about to bring it up.
So I have made my fair share of mistakes, and I'm willing to step up and take the criticism for that, whether it be from 82nd, from 75th, from any of my previous units. I'm willing to accept the critiques, but the one thing they can never accuse me of is not caring about the individuals below me. I have made it my mission to make sure anyone I'm ever in charge of has fun, makes friends, and just has a good time. And a lot of the times that has been seen as a weakness and or has been seen as not common in the Milsim area, I guess in the Milsim scene. And I have gotten a lot of heat for that because I would rather care about the user experience and the friendships built rather than being
everyone,
tactical.
everyone wants to be like they want to be solo when they should be winners. I'll give you $5 if you can name the fucking show where that's from, where those names are from.
I cannot on that one, but it just, I hope Lucalis and Naz can at least attest to my mess ups and also my strengths regarding leadership. And I'm not someone who's just going to sit here and lie about things. I'm going to give what happened, regardless of if it's good or bad.
Fuck, man. I would rather fucking. I.
It definitely felt more.
It still blows my fucking mind that we still got units out there. Like, you feel so damn insecure to just send folks to spy on the other side. It blows my fucking mind more than you think. So I thought honestly, what the unit, the Milsim was done with that shit once it was rooted out BO4, but nope.
No, it's 80. Definitely 82nd felt more corporate than being a Milsim. Like what Lucalis and I do, and Falcon, since we're the top guys, we still show up to things like obviously we don't overstep boundaries and take over, we just say, "Hey, how's it going? You guys doing good? Good." We never saw our top guys ever show up to our trainings or talk to us. And then when it was time to talk to us, it was because a lot of people would leave, and they would be like,
So the guys,
like one
like
of
a lot
those
of people will leave, they
conversations.
wouldn't address like why they would leave. They just shit talk them.
Oh,
Yeah, they'd be like, "Yeah,
absolutely.
it's time for you guys to step up," type shit.
Fucking Mr. Man, you guys gotta step up, okay? We're losing people,
And
okay?
or if someone left for a real reason,
They still shit talk
psyops
them.
psyops were done, like straight up. Like this isn't just something I'm saying. Like actual psychological warfare in the own unit was conducted, as in anything related to the situation that happened would be purged. A new story would be came up with, or put like another reason would be built of the individuals left for this reason, this reason, this reason. It was made very clear in the chats. That would then be purged, and the new story would be put in place of what happened, or it just would be purged and no one ever talked about it again.
Hang on a second. We got something in the chat. From Harley Lifestyle. I was in the 82nd before I started my own unit. I started my own because I never got info on what I needed to do. Wait, hold on a second. I got a question for Harley. Were you around in fucking the Battlefield Milsim community? I want to fucking know this shit. There's an individual I got in contact with. If I was. He was not. Fuck. Damn it. You got. I don't even think you guys were in. But there's a guy who used to do Battlefield Milsim. He used to be the XO of Force ID. Anyone who's been in Battlefield 4 Milsim knows his fucking name. Motherfucker's name Lurch. And I swear to oh my god, he would be like Pepperidge Farm. And he would fucking like shit would happen. He would have screenshots. And then later down the road, where say someone's trying to rebuild or act like they didn't do anything wrong, this motherfucker comes with receipts out of fucking nowhere. I really wish he was here for this shit, because he would fucking start calling out motherfuckers left or right. It will be an absolute show. Fuck. I'm getting a little too worried. That is,
Dude, you're getting more pissed off than we were about this.
huh?
You're getting more riled than we were.
Fucking, it's the one thing that annoys me. It's like, how the fuck are you gonna pull this kind of shit? Then like you're armed, like dude, just one, get your head out your ass, start doing shit, be in a fucking like cut the spy ring bullshit. That shit doesn't even fucking need to exist in a Milsim community. It should never exist in a Milsim community. If you want to do that shit, go fucking simulate Langley or the fucking FSB. So one pet peeve I had since fucking starting doing this shit after I got out of the service back in 15. It's like, why would you want to do all this stupid shit? It makes no fucking sense. It does not. You do not lose. How do I put it? You're not gonna lose any sleep over fucking. Hey, you come out. You make. Okay, I fucked up. No one's gonna give a shit. Like, people are gonna acknowledge. Yeah, okay, yeah. Now you're starting to fucking. Uh, Now they're starting to fucking address the situation instead of just sweeping it on the rug. Go from there. Do that. Be actual fucking leaders. Harvey has a good question. At what point Is a Milsim just too big to function?
So I can answer this, and this is my personal opinion being a captain. So my experience as a leader has been first lieutenant, second lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain, first sergeant, sergeants. I would say once it hits brigade level, that is when issues start to happen. And it's not even because I would say of how big it is, it's because of how quickly they expand. For perfect example, right? So when I was a lieutenant for 75th, a company is made up of 3 platoons. Um, when it's made up of 3 platoons, and typically what happens is, in an average milsim, a full platoon is about going to be around 75 guys, 50 to 75 guys, if it's fully operational. And most milsims, you're never going to get that full operational capacity. You're probably going to get closer to 30 to 40. Now, the issue is typically how the last 82nd started and how 75th started was you have a company and then you have 2 platoons. You fill up both platoons, and once both platoons are filled, then you open the third platoon. Well, the issue is typically what happens is the units get very eager to open that third platoon. Higher ups think that because on paper, through paper tracking, okay, so on paper there's 150 guys in that platoon. Perfect. We'll split the platoons up and create that third platoon. Well, in reality, there's not 150 guys to do that. There's probably maybe closer to 70. Well, when you open that third platoon, now you've just cut those forces in half, and you've created a manpower shortage. There's
Falcon.
not. Yeah, what's up?
Harvey kind of throws a point in there. It's like, but then you get into having to have tons of servers and all that to the house, uh, tons of servers and all that to house all that shit. When is it too much?
Like I said, for me, my experience is once it gets past battalion level, it just becomes a manpower issue. It becomes how stable are the servers? How stable can everyone get on? Personal lives, leadership qualities. Brigade, once you hit that brigade position, you've reached not only a threshold, but you're also kind of reached the do or die. It's either it becomes so big that issues that need to be addressed can't be addressed anymore because it just becomes so hard to control. But at a battalion size, you can control it a little easier if, I would say once you start making allies and you start having good relationships, that can also affect how things are done. It really depends on leadership qualities and how you lead. If you have a very toxic leadership, you're going to get toxic NCOs and people who are under you and junior leaders. Once that happens, once you have that toxicity environment in place, you're basically screwed. There's nothing you can really do to climb out of that hole because that environment has been set, and that environment is what is expected of what happens. Now, typically,
the toxicity thing
lower.
seems like it's self-inflicted because.
Well, the issue is the toxicity portion comes in once you reach past battalion because battalion acts as like the middleman, so to speak. So a lot of the issues can be addressed at company level, which they typically are. So if one private is beefing with another person, it can be dealt with and it can usually be talked out. Well, what happens when someone from 2 different sides of the spectrum of command staff are beefing? Let's say I'm PL number 1 and I'm beefing with PL number 6 of a different battalion, right? There has to be mediation at the battalion level. The issue is it can get out of hand because then people pick sides and then it just flows up the chain of command. And then once it reaches the top person, if it does, then it's a big issue. I would say brigade is where it starts to fall apart. Lucalis, would you agree with that when it hits brigade?
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
Good thing we don't have brigade.
And Harley actually responded and says, "See, we have a 2 full BCTs, bunch. Again, Army lingo's lost on me, and an SF unit, and a full HQ, and I'm content there. You have to be reasonable. Just everyone wants to be this whole biggest Milsim and shit, and you don't need to be a big ass Milsim. I mean, this ain't like fucking Iowa 80 where you're fucking the world's biggest truck stop or some shit. No, it's just be happy. I mean, quantity doesn't mean dick. It's all about quality.
That is
And
true.
that
I mean,
is
personally,
true.
like I want our pub servers to be filled with good guys, and I want our Milsim unit to be full of great guys, because you can have fucking 7,000 people in the Discord, but if 75% of them are assholes, I mean, we'd be like everyone else.
And Harvey, I honestly, what did I say, Harvey? Harley, I actually agree with you. Where he said, I rather have I rather provide the best experience versus having the most numbers. That's where fucking people. That's the fork on the road right there. A lot of people want to
And
go
that
off to having the biggest. They want to be the biggest name out there, and yet they do that as a trade-off to having giving people the best experience. Now, experiences between from person to person may vary, depends on who you ask. But overall consensus is like, again, you could be the biggest, you could be the biggest swinging dick in the neighborhood, but it doesn't mean absolute shit if you got guys leaving left and right because of toxic leadership or of fucking this, that, and everything under the sun. Fucking, I, honestly, you almost nailed it on the head, Harley. Um, the numbers follow after that. It's a full circle for us right now. We nail toxic leadership to the wall and get rid of it. Wow, fucking standing. Um,
Shit, I want to know where Harley's unit is so we can do a joint op with them.
well, he's leading 4ID. Which actually, I was actually going to ask you this question. Regardless of you guys being blacklisted in NATO, because that seems like a pointless tag.
It doesn't matter for us. I mean,
Uh,
we're doing fucking a joint op with 506. They've been around for 10 years, and
yeah,
the
that's
fact that they
that's
give us an
that's what I'm
opportunity to
saying.
work
Like,
with them,
regardless that you guys are so-called blacklisted within NATO, even for wrong reasons, it seems. Like, besides the 506, like, have you guys been still conducting joint ops?
I mean, we're not as of late, but we're doing one with 506, and we have other people that we're going to do joint ops with, you know, later this month or next month. And so, what pisses me off about NATO is that they didn't do like a proper, greet with us. We weren't like formally part of NATO. We just joined
We never
because,
even, requested to be members of NATO. I was
yeah,
the former NATO sacked, and when we formed our own unit, it just kind of they just said we were a part of NATO. We never did a security clearance. We never went through that process. We were just there.
yeah. And we didn't know
Question
that
from
10th Mountain.
Harley, actually. Sorry to cut you off. Harley has a question. What's 2.6 average player count per op?
Average player count for op, it greatly varies depending on the time that we're running the op. It can vary from anywhere to 25 all the way up to 45 to 50 members that show up.
A pretty good handful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're
It's more than enough
good
for us
guys.
to have fun.
Um,
So another allegation that uh, NATO blacklisted us for is the whole 10th Mountain thing, because there's two 10th Mountains. We merged with one of the 10th Mountain guys, because they needed servers, and we were happy to welcome them in. And Luke Callis knew few of them because he worked with them, and we didn't know that they were blacklisted. And the fact that they're like, oh, you guys are working with blacklisted members, you shouldn't be doing that. It's like, how the fuck are we supposed to know that if you don't tell us these things? And we weren't formally introduced into NATO. They just want us to figure it out on our own as well, which was annoying, but oh well. I mean, they're great guys, so they're missing out working with them.
All right. All right, gents. Well, we're closing in on the 2 hour mark. Um, anything else you guys want to get off your chest before we call it a day?
The only thing that I would like to say is, to anyone watching, if you want to, come on our pubs, play with us, by all means, everyone's welcome. Whether you're another Milsim and you're just looking for somewhere to play, or if you're wanting to, do some sort of joint op with us, whether you're just a friend group of like 4 or 5 guys, or you're a group of, 900. We're always looking to expand our horizons and have fun with more people. The more friends we make, the better the world is, right?
Yeah. Well, hang on a second. Harley, if you're still watching us, I am sending you a DM on Twitter, which would I'm sending him your username, Luke. That way you guys can properly set something up.
Yeah, I can also link the. I can DM you our Discord link if you want.
Yeah, you could do that, and I'll include it in the YouTube description.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me just 1 second.
All right.
I think I've actually already sent it to you before. No, I have not.
Yeah, probably. But anyway,
All
gentlemen,
right.
those of you from 2-6, thank you for taking time out of your busy day or weekend to talk with us here on MNN, Milsim Real Talk. I'll be honest, dude. He called me biased or whatever, but this whole situation seems fucked. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or anything. This is not the fucking way to handle a situation with the unit and of course the unit you guys left. And I certainly do not think a unit should have a fucking spy ring and multiple fucking units. It's like what? This is childish at most, or unprofessional. But in due time, they will be exposed. But for those of you who are just tuning in or are tuning in on YouTube, we are doing a stream Monday with the second installment of the Sit Down, episode 2. The truth shall set you free. And you think this shit that we talked about today is spicy? Oh boy, you best get your bowl of popcorn and Cheetos or whatever the hell you eat for snacks ready, because we'll be doing the stream on Monday night, 1900 Eastern Standard Time. So I'll let you figure out that time for wherever you live. We hope to see you there. And gentlemen, like I said, thank you for taking time out of your day, and we look forward to hearing from you guys again.
Yeah,
Thanks for
absolutely.
having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Sorry for joining late. I was taking care of our FTX beforehand.
You're good, man. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you in the next one.
All right, y'all.